day. Good day, good day, good day. Good day, good day, good day, good day. Good day, good day, good day, good day. How everybody doing out there? How everybody doing out there? How everybody doing out there? Hopefully everybody's having themselves a terrific Tuesday evening. Hopefully everybody's having themselves a terrific Tuesday evening. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world yet forfeit his soul? Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world yet forfeit his soul? A lot of times right now, folks, we are caught up into the wrong things. What we are caught up into. What good would it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? Answer that question, folks. Is anything worth more than your whole soul? You'd be surprised. What you have to do is know your value, know your worth, know and understand like the do's and the don'ts. How do you apply yourself each and every day? How do you be better today than you was yesterday? What do you need to do? It's like, what the sense of having knowledge? You can have all the knowledge in the world, but imagine having all the knowledge in the world, but you don't have nobody to share that knowledge with. It's senseless. It's worthless. What the sense of having anything if you don't have nobody to share that with? It's senseless. I don't like this black stuff. Sit back and think about that. Sit back and think about that for a minute. What good? What good? Okay. What good would it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Yes, rest in peace to Kango Kid, man. Rest in peace to Kango Kid. You know, folks, listen, man. Even right now, I was scheduled to do a piece today live on with my man BK Cashmere. Shout out to BK Cashmere. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that up and running soon. And right now is when you look at the state of the hip hop community, man, and everything that, going on in the hip hop community. And you sit back and you think about it right now. When I was coming up and you think about the hip hop community, what was the hip hop community all about? It's all about, like, what I'm saying, laughter, fun, having a jolly good time, getting out there, man. I can remember going to the park, six stepping, people freestyling, people right now spinning on their head, breakdancing. It was like nice and clean cut fun when everybody can put all the nonsense and the negativity behind and come together and listen to some good music and have fun. What happened? What's the change? How did something started out being good turn out to be bad? Okay. How can something start out being so good turn out to be so bad? Help me to understand that. Where did it went wrong? How did we get lost? Whereas now you see, we used to go out there, go to the park, go to the community center, go and have house party, have the little DJ equipment, having people rapping, speaking about everyday life. Like even right now, when you look at the Sugar Hill Gang, what they say, have you ever went over to a friend's house to eat and the food just was no good? So you sit back and you think about it, man, like real talk. How many times you went to somebody else's house and you ate their food, and guess what? It was no good. And yet, still, regardless of what, you just sit there and you eat it anyway because you don't want to say no. You don't want to embarrass the person and say, listen, man, your food don't taste good. So what happened, man? You just keep eating that stuff, knowing it don't taste good, knowing it's not going down your digestive system great, and yet in still regards what happened, you got to throw it up, and you got to run out of that place, causing embarrassment anyway. You know what? Right now is, folks, listen, let's get back to the basic principle. In order to be real and honest with anybody else, you got to first be honest and real with yourself. But even right now with Sugar Hill, we used to talk about everyday real situation, real circumstance. Even as we talk about Grandmaster Flash, and they talk about the message, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. A child was born with no state of mind, blind to see the way of mankind. That's just showing us right now how lost we was even way back when. How they try to get people to understand what was going on in these urban environment, what was going on in these concrete jungle. Here it is, a sign always been there, but yet and still, guess what? Even as these rappers was talking about these things, it didn't lead to them getting killed. It didn't lead them to getting murdered. It didn't lead to them getting stabbed in their neck, getting shot. It didn't lead to that. Because right now we understood what these rappers were trying to do. They were trying to speak to us, get us to understand what was going on. They was trying to get us to understand the truth. They was trying to wake us up, get us to have conscience of what was going on in our neighborhood, what was going on in our community. What did we need to do at that present time to get better? That's what it was all about. Now, when you sit back and you look at it right now and you see all these guys from Nipsey Hussle, King Von, Young Dolph, Draco, Slim 400, these guys getting executed in their own neighborhood over what? Last time I came on my platform, somebody was talking about drill music. Okay, I don't have a clue what the heck is drill music. Last time people was talking about besides drill music, what they was talking about, they was talking about the gang culture. And folks, listen, man, when you sit back and you think about the gang culture, what is the gang culture? It's like right now is, guess what? Here it is. What is a gang? What is a gang? Right now, there's nothing wrong with having a gang if the gang is going to be utilized in the right way for positivity, not negative and nonsense. What the sense you following behind a bunch of individuals and that going to lead you to self-destruction? It don't make sense. And right now, if it don't make sense, why are you participating with that? If you're looking for love, why are you looking for love in a gang? A gang don't love nobody. I just purchased your book, Beyond Lucky. Kevin, how you doing, man? How you doing, man? Respect. Did you purchase a signed copy? Hey, did you purchase a signed copy? Get your signed copy. Get your signed copy. I'm saying get your signed copy and order it by emailing me at Brian, Brian, Gibbs, Gibbs, 1201 at yahoo.com. Hey, listen, folks. Like I always try to tell people is at one point in time, you bought it on Amazon. Okay. Hey, you know what? Even Kevin, when you take your time and you read the book, what I want you to do is keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. And what I mean by that, a lot of things that I was able to express as open-hearted and free as possible during some of the most difficult time in my life. What I did was I put everything out there. I talk about the good, I talk about the ugly, I talk about everything. I talk about some of my most embarrassing part of my life. And reason being, in order to be honest with anybody else, you got to first attempt to be honest with yourself. And a lot of us can't do that. A lot of times what we want to do is we want to put up this image of ourselves that we are so perfect. We want to put up this image of ourselves that we didn't do nothing wrong. We want to put up this image of ourselves that we look good. No. In life, guess what? Everybody take L's. Everybody take losses. guess what? You don't always look good. When you wake up in the morning, you know what? And you got coals in your eye. You know, your breath smelling like, oh, like a monkey cage. You know, come on. You got to go in, take a shower, freshen up. You know, see, people don't tell you that. People don't want you to see that side of them. But that's reality. Janine Jones, blessing to you. How you doing? How you doing, baby girl? Thank you for joining me. Um, and that's the difference. So even right now, Kevin, thank you. Shout out for the support. Shout out for going to Amazon and purchasing the book. Anybody that want the Brian Glaze Gibbs book, Beyond Lucky, you know what I'm saying? Email me at Brian, Brian Gibbs, Gibbs 1201 at yahoo.com. You know what I'm saying? Get your signed copy. Right now is I got a special going on. If you order your signed copy of Beyond Lucky, you know what I'm saying, what I would do is I would throw in Straight from the Street audiobook, volume 1, and Straight from the Street audiobook, volume 2 by Brian Glaze Gibbs. And you know what? What I do is I go in depth about different things. Even anybody that's interested, sign up to the Brian Glaze Gibbs Patreon page. J Boy, what's up? Glaze, what's up? Playboy from Killer Cali. How you doing, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. You know, but even right now, like today, my topic is what good would it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit a soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? A lot of times people do not understand. We sell our soul. We sell out each and every day of our life. We sell out. We sell out our belief system. We grew up knowing right from wrong. And we all grew up knowing right from wrong. Why do we go wrong? Why do we go astray? Why do we become like that? Your lost sheep and go astray. I tell you why. Because we do not have true identity with ourselves. Have you repented? Yes, I have repented. I repented, J Boy. I repented. The bottom line is right now is guess what, man? You know what? I had to get myself together from a physical standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint. I had to get myself together. I had to repent. I had to ask for forgiveness. I had to. I didn't have no choice. Right now, it's only because of the grace of God that I am here today. If I had 10,000 tongues, I would not be able to thank him enough. Because once again, here it is when I was a lost, sick individual in the wilderness, when I was caught up into that madness, when I was in love with that materialistic green paper, your United States currency. I was in love with that. I was infatuated with that. I felt the more I got, the more I had. Guess what? I was invincible. I felt it made me. It didn't make me. It destroyed me. I was intoxicated by U.S. currency. I was intoxicated by that green paper. And I destroyed so many lives that was in my way to help me to accomplish getting green paper. And even right now, at one point in time in my life, once I was in position and I was doing the thing that I was doing, you know what I understand? When I wanted something. I wanted a power structure that was so strong that nothing could penetrate through it. And then when I got it, when I went through hell and I accomplished everything I thought I want to accomplish by getting a power structure, by having a bunch of gentlemen following me all behind the wrong reason. Right now is when I went away, I was 24 years old. Folks, think back and think about it. What type of true identity do you have between the age of 14 to 24? Yes, that's the Averex. Yes, that's the Averex. What type of true identity do anybody have between the age of 14 and 24? I didn't have no identity. I was lost. I was out there in the wilderness. I was hurting, destroying, say my community. I was hurting, destroying my own people that looked like me. People were just like me. Yes, I watched the golf. I watched some of the Godfather Harlem. That's why I like the Glaze. You keep it 100. It's fake money, fake love, fake. I miss the fake money. I miss the fast money, but I don't have worry about police kicking in my door. Hey, bro, man, Ace Rivera. Hey, Ace Rivera. That's powerful, man. Hello, Case Lawwell. J Boy, I am from Cali, so our politics are different. But you know what? Like I said right now, our politics are different, but that chasing that dollar, giving up our soul, putting everything behind us, putting money in front of our family, putting money in front of our friends, putting money in front of our principles and morals. Guess what? It's all the same. It doesn't matter whether you're in Cali, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Chicago, whether you're in Detroit, whether you're in Alabama, whether you're in Kentucky, whether you're in Jupiter, Mars. This is special, special, special. Hey, Special K, how you doing, Special K? Hey, Special K. You know what? Here it is right now, folks. I'm funny. Like, I listen to people that I respect. And shout out to Special K, because Special K right now is, you know what? Here it is right now. What I love, your attitude, your demeanor, your presentation. You know why? Because even right now, from your voice, through your words, you see the sincerity, even based upon your profession, what you went to school for, your profession, you into saving life, you into helping people, you into an empowerment. And that's the beautiful thing. And even right now, is even as I watch you from your platform and see how you interact with you and your family or whatever, powerful. Because the bottom line is you work hard and like I say, you live your best life. And to me, like I said right now, it's like you look good doing it. I love watching that. You love seeing people making it. You love seeing people doing positive things. You love seeing people living a great quality life, and they didn't have to commit no crime. They didn't have to sell their soul. They didn't have to, compromise their principles and morals. That's powerful. But even right now, folks, when you sit back and you think about life, and I sit back and I reflect back upon a lot of things. And sometimes right now is guess what? When you change your ways and you put your past behind you, you know what people try to do? Because you're not the same individual no more. People try to attack you by any means necessary. People try to slander you. People try to assassinate your character. You know what? I remember when I got out of jail and I met with the psychiatrist. And you know what the psychiatrist told me? And I said, yeah, I got to reinvent myself. I got to rebuild my character. This psychiatrist, brother, told me, you don't have no character. Mm. Imagine somebody telling you don't have no character. Vladimir Lara, much respect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Imagine somebody telling you, you don't have no character, you know? And to me, I guess right now, the fact that I was fresh out of jail. And sometime right now, folks, we as human beings can be very sensitive. And even with that being said, guess what? The individual told me that I didn't have no character. I know years ago I probably would have, put him in his place, say some choice word, or try like feeling that he offended me, that he disrespect me. Folks, how do we let words offend us? Steve Allen, wow, how did that make you feel though after he said that? You know what? In actuality, because I was fresh out of the penitentiary. So his words didn't really affect me because once again, you know what? That's what he said. That's everybody's entitled to feel the way they feel about you. But it's up to you to get them to change their opinion, their mindset. They can feel. A lot of times when people look at you each and every day, they judge you. They look you up and down. And people, like I say, you never get a second opportunity to make a first impression. I'm going to repeat that. You never get a second opportunity to make a first impression. So the difference is right now is when people look at you, they judge us each and every day based upon our appearance. Okay. That's why right now, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. So to me, right now, when people judge me, they look me up and down or whatever, they're trying to get to understand who and what I am. You know what? Listen, you don't know me. You haven't walked in my shoes. And that's the difference. We have to stop judging people. Yes, that's what he say, but what does God say? God say right now is guess what? Like Marvin Sapp said, he saw the best in me. when everybody else only saw the worst in me. That's crazy. They say that because my shrink too told me when I got out after 6 years, don't find yourself, create yourself. You got to, man. That stuck with me. And you know what? Like I say, that's powerful. Because the bottom line is right now, anytime when people, I love it. I don't know what is it. I love being an underdog. I love being an underdog. Because anytime the odds are against me, anytime that I'm down, for some reason, I was blessed with the opportunity to dig deep. I was blessed with the opportunity to get up. We fall down, but we get up. I was blessed with the opportunity. A lot of time when we fall down, a lot of us don't have it in us to get up. A lot of us don't have that support system. You got to dig deep, man. You got to dig deep. We fall down, but we have to get up. And the difference is right now is it depends upon your core value. It depends upon what's inside of you. It depends upon what was instilled inside of you as a little boy, as a little girl. Because the difference is right now, words can destroy us all. Word can uplift us and word can destroy us. But if we let it destroy us, you know what? Even being kids, what used to be said right now is guess what? I'm 91 years old. I'm 91 years old. But the difference right now, I can remember being in school, going to grade school, and it was the same. Sticks and stone may break your bones. But words never hurt you. People can tell you anything. People can say anything about you. But it all depends upon how do you handle it? How do you accept the words? How do you weave, wob, bob, duck, and let that words, don't BS go past you, go beneath you, go under you. Don't let word beat you up. Look good for your age, man. Hey, Jay, thank you. It's just the same, man. I don't know where I got that from. Like I say, H. Rivera, like 50 say, the underdog on top is not falling off. It's how you get back. But the difference right now is what we do is we beat our own self up, man. When I look at people and they say right now, guess what? I can't make it. I can't get a job. I can't provide for my family. I can't provide for myself. I don't have it in me, man. Listen, folks, listen, man. You got a lot in you. You're stronger than what you think you are. You are much stronger than what you are. Without no test, it's no testimony. If you're not tested, if you don't have no trial and tribulation, guess what's gonna happen? Without no test, how can you survive? Without going through trial and tribulation, you can't test what you can overcome. You can overcome anything that's thrown at you. People can throw the whole kitchen sink at you. That whole kitchen sink can hit you. But the difference is your reaction. What is your reaction? Are you going to lay down and play dead? You can't lay down and play dead. You can't lay down and play dead. And a lot of times we easy to give up. We easy to throw in the towel. We easy to quit. No? Peace, Shebay. Peace, Shebay. Shout out to OG Shebay, man. I learned a lot from that brother. That brother right now went through hell. That brother went through hell. That brother is a walking testimony. OG Shebay is a walking testimony. That brother done went through hell and back and survived during the worst of time. And yet and still, if you know what I know about that brother and you see where he at these days in time, guess what, folks? Hats off. Shebay, hats off, man. Salute, man. Salute. Because once again, right now, you are a original OG. Right now is for a person to be been through everything that you've been through. And right now is, like I'm saying, you're the original Field Marshal, highest ranking general. You welcome, Shebay. Hey, Special K, nah, Juna died. Juna Wilson died. He was murdered June of 94 when I was away. And you know what? The last conversation I had with Juna, Juna, I got acquitted in 1987. And Juna, just before I got acquitted, Juna caught a murder. He caught a body in Cyprus. 60 years old, he caught a murder. Five guys surround him, try to rob him. Right now is he shot and killed and chased one down. Broad daylight in Cypress Projects. And he's been on the run ever since. And right now, when I came home from being acquitted, I was, 23 at the time. Juna was 16. I took him. I took Juna Wilson from New York City and sent him down to my mother home in South Carolina, while he's on the run, because I didn't want him to go to jail. And right now is, you know, when I went away, we still was in touch. I had a condominium down in Virginia Beach that he was living in. And like right now, I can remember one of the last conversation that we had. He asked me, he said, yo, man, am I going to see you again? And I told him, yeah, because I was always under the impression I was going to get out. I knew I was going to get out eventually out of everything I've been through. And right now is, guess what? Two people that I wanted to come live with me. That was my mother. May her soul rest in peace and her spirit be lifted. And that was Juna Wilson. May his soul rest in peace and his spirit be lifted. And the last conversation we had, and he said, I'm going to see you again. Yeah, because wherever I'm at, you coming with me. Despite he was on a run, he was on a run for his life. He had a murder. And you know what? Right now was, guess what? He didn't have one murder. He had several murders. And the difference is sometimes only thing people need is a fresh start. Only time sometimes we need is somebody to coach us, counsel us, train us, letting us know that it's more than life than that street, letting us know that we all can change. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Once again, it's not how you start, how you finish. But the difference was, like during our last conversation that we had, in June of 1994, he was executed. He was tortured, and he was executed. And you know what? That hurt. That hurt. Because, like I said, right now, he's a younger brother. He's my little brother. And right now, I dedicated this book. I dedicated this book, Beyond Lucky. I dedicated this book to Juna Wilson and my mother, Dorothy Gibbs. I dedicated that. Where was Juna Wilson parent? He had his mother. He had his mother in his life, but his father was not in his life. Especially K. He had his mother in his life. His father was not in his life. And you know what, folks? Listen, I truly believe that kids, when you man and woman enough to make these kids, be man and woman enough to stay in these kids' life. When you are man and woman enough, regardless of how old you are, even if you're a teenager, 16, 17, 18, if you feel right now is, guess what, that you're old enough to have sex, you're old enough to produce a baby, you should be old enough to provide and take care of those babies. Shout out to all the good mothers, the good fathers, the good grandparents, the good aunties, uncles, the good family member that chip in and help out and take care of these kids. Shout out to them. So all y'all that took the time to help out, shout out, because it take a community to raise a child. Some people are mad at you because you are not suffering the way they expected you to. May God keep disappointing them. Thank you, Janine. Thank you. And you know what? Like I told you right now is, listen, nobody beat me up more than I beat myself up. Because the bottom line is right now is, you know what? I was living a life of a lie. I want to be something that I wasn't, because I want to be down. I want to be cool. I want to be accepted. I did a lot of foul things that I am not proud of. I did a lot of things that right now, when I got upset, I allowed my anger to supersede my intellect. And I was part of the destruction of my own community. And I have nobody to blame but myself, because when you know right from wrong and you still do wrong, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And I'm not trying to look for a cop out or easy way out. I had to hold myself accountable. I had to hold myself accountable. And right now is how did I have to hold myself accountable? I had to go deep. I had to do a lot of psychoanalysis about myself, into myself. Why? Why I became who I became? Why I did some of the things that I did? I had to hold myself accountable. And you know what? Nobody hold yourself more accountable than you. And even right now, like I say, if you listen to the message what I'm talking about, what good would it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit a soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? Answer that. Is anything worth more than your soul? No. Nothing is worth more than your soul. But yet and still, when you young, you dumb, lack of education, lack of guidance, lack of direction, being hard-headed, guess what? Shout out, Kendall. Shout out, Kendall. Shout out to you. Shout out to your grandkids. Hey, folks, sit back and think about it, right? Even right now, as I keep trying to tell people, to me, this is the most difficult time of the year for me, the holiday season. The holiday season is the most difficult time of the year for me. Why? Because once again, I miss so many of it. I miss so many of these holidays. And you know what? I didn't have nobody to blame but myself. I miss a total of 15 Thanksgiving, 15 birthday, 15 Christmas, 15 New Year's. And I ain't have nobody to blame but myself, man. Kevin, Mr. BGG, not to disrespectfully pride, but if you are blessed to be 91, what age is your dad blessed with, brother? My dad is 84, man. My dad is 84. Um, I was with my dad back in September on his 84th birthday, and I made a statement, and I told him, I was 90 just before my birthday, and he was 84. I say, well, my dad is 84 and I'm 90. So he say like, okay, if I'm 84 and you 90, how did that happen? How did that work or whatever? So you know what? That's my joke, folks. As far as me being 90, me being 91 or whatever, that's just my inside joke with myself or whatever. So it's no disrespect. But the difference is right now is, to me, like everything is a first. Even with me, my dad have not always been in my life. And you know what? With that being said, it's like now is how I sit back. Years ago, before my mother died, and I was incarcerated, for some reason, she basically instilled in me, you and your dad need to have a better relationship. Why? I'm grown. I'm doing time. Why? Why now? You know? And she knew in order for me to have a fighting chance and to have some type of relationship with my own kids, sometimes you have to fix the broken, I'm saying, like you have to fix that broken road. You have to fix that broken ladder. You have to fix that broken roadmap. I was just about to ask that, Glaze. The whole time while behind the wall, did your old man support you? Um, you know what? No. Mm-mm. No. Sometimes people are into their own private world, man. A lot of times right now, people, you don't understand. When you go away, you basically on your own. Only people you're gonna have doing a bid with you are there for you, write you letter or send you package or come to see you are those that fully invested into you, those that fully understand you, those that fully and truly love you. Those are the only people that gonna be invested in you. People don't understand, man. Like right now, was guess what? It wasn't them that committed a crime. It wasn't them that put you in bondage. It wasn't them that put you in shackle. You put yourself in that shackle. Special K. Um, Do you believe that a woman cannot raise a man? That's a tough question. That's a tough question. I feel a woman can raise a man to a certain degree, to a certain degree. But sometimes he had to have the right mentoring in place to help coach him, counsel him, train him to how to be the best man they can possibly be. The holiday season can be depressing. I miss my mom also. She passed in 2017. I listen to music, Temptations, Silent Night, remind me of my family past. Hey, my deepest condolences, Kendra. Janine, toxic people will try to make you think you are holding a grudge. Nah, that's a boundary. You're right. Yes, a woman can, but she can't teach him how to be a man. And you're right. And you know what? Like me, and I try to explain to people, um, I describe myself as a professional mama boy. I was a professional mama boy. It was all about my mother, man. It was all about my mother. And even right now, where it's like I always say, I love my mother more than life itself. And I remember one of my sister-in-law, basically right now, she challenged me about that. She got knee deep in my behind about that. Shout out to her. I say I love my mother more than life itself. It's nothing I wouldn't do for my mother or whatever. So when I say that, she say, "No, you didn't." I said, "What you mean? No, I didn't." I say, you can't tell me how I feel about my mother. You can't tell me I didn't love my mother more than life itself. She said, yes, I can. She said, because if you love your mother more than life itself, you wouldn't have put her through all the pains and suffering that you put her through. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here it is right now. Shout out to her. Me, shout out to you. Because what she did is she made me took that mirror and she made me look myself in that mirror, look myself in my own eye. Because once again, something that she said, I'm telling her, I love my mother more than life itself. And like she said, if I love it my mother like I say I love it my mother, I would not have put her through all those unnecessary trials and tribulation. I would have not caused her pain. I would have not made her cry herself to sleep over and over and over and over and over again. Whoa, whoa. That was a really gut check. You know how somebody punch you, sucker punch you in the gut, a sucker punch you in your private? That hurt. It's very painful. But I had to accept that because right now is I didn't want to admit that me was right. She was right. Because the bottom line is anybody can utter the word, I love you. Anybody can say, I love you. Anybody can preach and write, I love you in a card, in a letter. Anybody can tell you on the phone, I love you. You can tell a person you love them, you love them, you love them all day long. But you know what? Action speak louder than words. Sometime right now is you can't tell people that you love them. You can't write in a letter in a card that you love them. Action, your behavior, the things that you do have to illustrate that you love them. But no, I'm saying it verbally. Mom, I love you. I'm saying it in my letters. I'm saying it in my cards. I'm saying it in my phone calls. I'm saying it on a visit. Ma, I love you. But something that she said made a lot of sense. I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to believe it. But you know what? She was right. She was right. Because if I really love her, like I say that I love her, I wouldn't have broken her heart. I wouldn't have caused her pain. I wouldn't have her crying over and over and over and over and over again. I wouldn't have had her going to sleep, crying. I caused my mother so much pain. I believe when my mother died at the age of 52, she died of a broken heart. I believe that my mother, I'm saying right now, based upon her prayer, my family prayers, that's what got me to my freedom. That's what got me here. Like I feel sometimes she asks God, what is going to take for my son to get his life together? And at time, I feel that my mother sacrificed her life for my freedom. That's why when I got out, I refused to allow or continue to allow her teaching, her upbringing be in vain. That's why right now you talk about change, change, change. Folks, change comes from within. And sometimes right now, change comes from pain, suffering. Prayer. Prayer do change things. Prayer do change things. It does. No prayer, no power. Less prayer, less power. Much prayer, much power. More prayer, more power. We need all the prayer that we can get. You know why? We're living in troubled time. We're living in troubled time. No, special K, no. Um, Even right now, since the pandemic, no. I haven't been in church. Let me see when the last time I've been in church. Probably a few months ago. Yeah. At one point in time, I used to go to church regular. Um, E Money get it in. Her teaching did not go in vain because you are impacting lives worldwide, Brian. Thank you, E Money get it in. Muhammad, shout out, shout out, shout out. But you know what? Like I said right now is, folks, listen. Each and every day, like that, we have breath in our body. We able to open up our eyes to count our blessing. We have to be thankful. We have to be grateful. We have to understand what is our purpose. What is our purpose? Why we are here? What do we need to do? It's not about me no more. It stopped being about me a long time ago. It's not about me. Yeah, the most important thing is your personal relationship with God. You're right. You're right. And right now is each and every day I seek to get deeply more involved. I seek to have a better understanding of myself. I seek to anybody that come into my life at this present time. I seek to see the value that I can add to their life. You know, it's not about me no more. Stop being about me a long time ago. It's not about me no more. Yes, it's a blessing to wake up and praise the Lord and be thankful. But a lot of times we take things for granted. I am one. I am one. I am one. Took a lot of things for granted. I am one. And I can remember my daughter, I went through a divorce and I was at work and I took a late lunch and I was going to meet my ex-wife and my daughter, you know, for dinner to celebrate her sixth birthday. And I can remember being in Colorado, driving down I-70, to go to 225 to go to this restaurant that we was gonna have her dinner at. And I can remember I was talking to my older sister at the time, and I can remember crying, like boo hoo 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 crying. I'm a grown man. And I can remember on that car ride going to meet my daughter for her sixth birthday, crying and talking to my older sister. And I can remember, I said, you know what? God must be looking down to me and he must be saying, you ungrateful individual. You down here complaining, moaning, and groaning like everybody else. You down here moaning, groaning, and complaining like everybody else. You forgot what I delivered you from. You forgot how I delivered you out of the lion den. How I took your head out of the lion mouth. Because in all honesty, you was left for dead. And yet and still, you forgot how I delivered you. And you down here complaining, moaning and groaning like everybody else. How soon do we forget? We are human beings are very absent-minded at times. At times we forget how blessed that we truly are. How the heck you can, forget how blessed that you truly are? I'm blessed and highly favored. But right now I'm talking to my sister, crying, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, going to celebrate my daughter's 6th birthday. That's almost 16 years ago. But I'm down here moaning, groaning, complaining. And sometimes you have to have a reality check. Sometimes you have to take yourself and get out of your own way and like dig deep. What I had to do is I had to come out of myself, grab myself by the collar, start slapping myself. Wah, 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 wah. What's wrong with you, you idiot? What's wrong with you, you ungrateful individual? How soon do we forget? And you know what? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we get too complacent. Sometimes we get too caught up. Sometimes we forget all the blessing. We forget. And you know what? I'm tired, man. I can't forget no more. Chris, what's up? How you doing? I can't forget no more. I can't forget. I know who I am. I know everything that I have done. And right now, and that's why I say each and every day I strive to be better today than I was yesterday. Each and every day I put my best foot forward. Each and every day I sit and I think about a lot of different things. Why? Why I'm still here. Right now is we all have a purpose. We all have destinies. And we have to fulfill that. You know what? We can't get caught up in the pity party. We can't get caught up into the negativity. We can't get caught up into the past. We got to right now wash and cleanse ourselves of all sins, or all our wrongdoing, all our past transgression, all our bad behavior, and get it together once and for all. Some people are going to reject you because you shine too bright for them. That's okay. They don't pay your light bill. Keep shining. Hey, Janine, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. And the difference right now is, guess what? To me, I am a, you know what? When I tell people this, a lot of people don't understand that. When I tell them I'm shy, when I tell people that I'm shy, people look at me, you crazy. I don't believe that. Or, like I told you, like I say, years ago, when I was young and going to these little center parties, going to the zoo, going to the fevers, going to these parties. And right now, I was very shy. You can see a girl that you like, you be all bashful, all shy. And to me, back then, when you used to get involved with chemical substance like alcohol, sometimes I used to have to get pissy drunk to get enough courage to go to a young lady that I like at the center party in Cyprus and ask her how to dance. Ask her to dance. Sometimes I used to have to get pissy drunk to ask a girl that I like, I'm saying, to dance at a house party. Because everybody hate rejection. Everybody hate that word, no. Everybody hate rejection. And like I said right now, folks, listen, man. You know what? Sometimes a rejection, sometimes that magical word no can be a blessing in disguise. Can be a blessing in disguise. You're not gonna always get your way. And to me, like I said right now, yeah, I had to get it together. I had to build up my self-esteem. I had to believe in myself. I had to love myself. I had to, come up with this confidence. I had to understand. You know what? Listen, man, you are better than what you think you are. You deserve more. And that's the difference. And that's my challenge to each and every one of you. Get out there, speak life into people, speak life into the younger generation, mentor, mentor the young man, the young woman that you come across. Right now, are you going to be very receptive at the very beginning? No, because a lot of your message is going to go in this ear, come out that ear. That's why we try to tell people, you know what? Sometimes we got to mm, shut up and listen. That's why we got two ears and one mouth. Why? Because sometimes we got to shut up and listen. Hey, listen. Um, I've been working on a couple of pieces. Today, I was supposed to do a live with this gentleman, talk about the state of hip hop and all the killings that happen in the hip hop community. That's what's powerful. Acts in the Phoenix, Matthew 16:26. Great verses. Thank you, man. Thank you. Shout out to Acts in the Phoenix. When God deliver you from evil, don't keep in touch. You're right, man. You know the difference, Janine, is this, is like right now is my circle is very, very small. And the difference is some of the folks that I talk to, it's like I can tell what we have in common. Sometime right now, just because you and a person used to be friends, that don't mean y'all can continue to be friends. It's based upon their state of mind and where they at, their mentality, their behavior, their attitude. E-money get it in. Many men that came from your background was not able to make the kind of transformation that you made. You should be very proud of yourself. E-money get it in. I am. I am. I am. I am very proud of myself because once again, my transition wasn't easy. My transition wasn't easy. Imposing my will if necessary. Get you some Dave off stick, good smoke. Okay. OG, do you ever ran across Tupac in New York City? OG, no, I did not run across Tupac in New York City. I was incarcerated during the time that Tupac touched ground and was in New York City. And right now, Tupac, from my understanding, was murdered during September of 1996. I didn't get released until July of 1997. But like I said right now, what I was talking about today, even the conversation, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? Nothing is worth more than your soul. Nothing. Nothing. But yet in still regards to what? Sometimes we trade in our soul. Sometimes we trade in our belief system because we get caught up into materialistic things. We get caught up into man made things. We get caught up into the flesh. We want to satisfy and please the flesh. And the difference is right now is when you're trying to please the flesh, you sacrificing the spirituality within you. You sacrificing that. You will make it through this and it will make you stronger. And you know what? You're right. You're right. I count my blessing. The flesh get weak. The flesh is very weak, man. The flesh, temptation, temptation is a monster. People don't understand. Temptation is a monster. Right now is when learn to overcome temptation. You know, right now when something is being tempted to you, something look like it's too good. 9 out of 10, anything that is too good is not true. Matthew 16, chapter 26 verse. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? Nothing. Why will you sell out? Why will you sell yourself down the drain for a fist full of dollar? But can you agree that those that we know gave up their soul, changed culture, changed the infrastructure of the very ground those live on, later live, and arguably made life better in exchange? You know what? Very, very, very few. Very, very few. You know, you know what? Like I said right now is I want to shout out to each and every one of you that join me. You know, what I'm saying on the platform this evening. Like I said right now, I got a lot of things, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed with some of the things that I want to do, some of the things that we're working on, some of the things that we're trying to put together. OG, did you go to church in Brooklyn? Yes. At one point in time, I used to go to church every week, every weekend. Sunday school, morning service, evening service, sometime revival. Man, it's like right now is every Sunday, man, every Sunday. Janine, let's talk about that fly new A-break you got on. Nah, this ain't new, man. This is old peacock wing serpent. That A-brick is old. This A-brick coat is whoa, probably about 20 something years old. God bless Mr. Gibb. Thank you, Kim. Kevin, thank you, Kevin. Matthew said, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. You can't. But a lot of times people try. A lot of times people try. And you know what? Fail miserably. Psalm 27, I would have a broken heart unless I believe the seed of goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Look at that. See, and that's the difference, right? Like I said right now, folks, I remember 2 years ago, I was talking to the GOAT, the Hall of Famer, LL Cool J. I was talking to him. And right now, as we talking, he said, yo, man, I be listening to your story. I be listening to some of the things, man, like some of the things that you've been through. He said, man, what is it? And I can remember him telling, I can remember me telling him, it's not my story, it's my ministry. And like I try to tell people, you know what? I am not your typical minister. I'm not. But the difference right now is if I can just reflect back upon and utilize my life experience as my ministry to try to show and prove and try to get back and try to get those that's out there to get them to understand the words that come out of my mouth and get them to understand that guess what? It's no shortcut in life. Get them to understand right now, only thing come fast is trouble, easy to get into and hard to get out. Get them to understand if you do it right the first time, guess what? You be in great, great shape. Peacock wings, sir. Oh, really? They came back out up in Saks Fifth Avenue for 2000. Wow. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like I said right now was I didn't know that. And folks, listen, you gotta remember, man, with style, things can come in style and they can go out of style. But then again, for some reason, history has the tendency of repeating itself. Even with this hip hop stuff, even with the epidemic that going on in the hip hop world, guess what, man? It's an epidemic. Whereas right now, the things that's happening now, this was talk about. This was talk about in that song, self destruction. Self destruction. We headed for self destruction. Self destruction. We headed for self destruction. Well, all the rap group came out. KRS-One, his wife at the time, Mrs. Melody, MC Light, D Nice, let me see who else. It was several people, Jazz O. It was several people that had key verses in that powerful song. Because right now it's like look at some of the words that they saying. You know, right now, I never had to run for the Ku Klux Klan. So why should I have to run away from the black man? And we as black men and women sometimes are our own worst enemy. Thank you for sharing your life story because it's helping someone. Thank you, Janine. That's what I'm saying. We had it for self destruction. And if you look at that rap community, these folks came out with a powerful record years ago. And yet, still, 30 years later, all that stuff seemed to be ringing true all over again. Was having an M3 a big deal back in the 80s? Not to me. Yeah, that's the classic line by Kumo D. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Kumo D was like, way before his time. A lot of them, man. A lot of them. But yet and still, you didn't see them. They battle each other with words. They battle each other with the microphone. But yet and still, you didn't see them pulling out guns. You didn't see them shooting each other. You didn't see them killing each other or whatever. And that's the difference, man. That's what happened. What the difference? What changed? I got five. Let's talk. The young blacks make of today are they KKK, kings killing kings. Wow. The young black males of today are they KKK, kings killing king. You're right, man. Folks, as a whole, as a community, as everybody that's on this platform, I got 48 people that's tuned in. How could all 48 of us join together as one, put our minds together, come up with the right action plan and solution to stop this madness? Now it's 50. Got 50 people joining me at the 49 people joining me at this present time. How can we, with myself, make 50? How can we come up with the right solution? As I tell people, I was once the problem. I was once the problem. I was once the problem. And I'm dedicated to be part of the solution. As long as I have, what I'm saying, breath in my body. As long as I have breath in my body, how can I become part of the solution? How can I become part of the solution? How? How can we join? Communication rule the nation. You're right. How? How can I become part of the solution? How can you become part of the solution? It's the one that was once the problem are the ones who have true solution. You're right. I got five. Let's talk. How? How can we join forces? How can all 52 of us that's on the platform now, how can we join forces and come up with a solution to this problem? Then Jack Billup. It's going to be a hard. It's going to be hard. I try every day, but I am only one person. Then Jet Billups, you are only one person, but the difference is right now, if we come together as a whole, it take a village to raise a child. Right now, imagine if we all come together. Right now is when you see things that change the time. If everybody come together, what can we do as a whole? Keeping the true and great content you are sharing now. Never let up. Thank you. By setting a good example, it's not all about what we say, but how we live. Anything that is worth having is worth fighting for. And you know what? Listen, man, as long as I got breath in my body, guess what? I'm healthy. I want to help. I want to swing until my hands get tired, man. Rappers today are dying. Young black millions. That's where you get that song from. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. All that's churching. You right? Ashley, hello chat. Ashley Bennett, how clap. Part of the solution is getting rid of that lazy attitude and disputation that everyone walk around with. Lead to dispose of those who have less monetary. Master the zero. Okay, fresh to death. Hey, but listen. Um, I got a lot of good things that I'm working on. I just gotta get busy. I like how you talk about working your way up from UPS. I think a lot of youth can benefit from that inspiration. Youth are misled. They think crime is the only way promoting other option. Nah, Adam B, you wrong. They wrong. They're wrong. Peace and love, Blaze. Peace and love to you, Muhammad. Brian, I'm sure you are aware that Odin is current. Yeah. I heard that. I'm trusting pray that Big O up for the debate to be have a speedy recovery from COVID. Please keep that brother in your prayer, Brian. Yeah, Big O is like a little brother, man. Right now we had a few spat, but like I say, I'm trusting, praying that he have a speedy recovery. Right now is I'm gonna send him a message right now. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna send him a message right now. Because once again, a lot of times right now, folks, when you got different things on your heart, in your mind, you know what, and you feel like reaching out to somebody, reach out to them while it's fresh in your mind. Because right now, if you take the time to reach out to them now, guess what's gonna happen? Guess what's gonna happen? If you take the time and reach out to them, guess what? That's what it's all about. A lot of times, what we do, we put our pride away when it's not necessary. You got to stop doing that. We as a whole got to stop doing that. And right now is as I'm on live, I'm going to reach out to him, send him a message, trusting and praying that he have a speedy recovery. Because once again, the difference is a lot of times we want to do things, but we don't because we think about it. But if you don't execute on what you think about doing, guess what? You lose. You know. And right now, as I'm live, I'm taking the time to send Big O a message. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about, man. A lot of times we too busy hating on one another, slandering one another, being disrespectful to one another. It's not all about that, man. It's not all about that. It's not all about that. It's not all about that, man. We have to come together and work together as a community. And you know what? Like I said right now, in order for us to do that, we got to put away that bootleg pride. Excellent work, Brian. Praise to the Most High. We got to put away all that BS high, that BS pride, 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 pride. I agree. Let's build each other up. That's what we got to continue to do. That's what we got to continue to do each and every day. Hey, listen, folks. Like I said right now, is guess what? Thank y'all for joining me. Hit the like button, subscribe. Check out the Brian Glaze Gibbs Patreon page. Like I said right now, is like I say, check out the latest content that I dropped within the last few days. And the difference is right now is like this. Right now, I was once the problem. Now I seek to be part of the solution. We must motivate each other and mentor one another. You're right. Right now is I will be going back live soon. Talking about finance, the importance of having life insurance. I'll be talking more in regards to different doctors, talking about the Panoxol, how can we help ourselves by using natural ingredients to fight against, saying high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high weight, high sugar. Right now, taking supplement that's going to be beneficial to our body. Getting back to the basic, man. Getting back to the basic, back to life, back to reality. Listen, folks, thank you. Thank you tonight for joining me. I appreciate it. Because once again, y'all could be doing anything on this terrific Tuesday. Y'all could have been watching your favorite show. Y'all could have been meditating. Y'all could have been praying. Y'all could have been, like I said right now, working out. Y'all can be doing many, many different things. But right now, for the people that took the time out of their busy schedule to join me, I truly, truly appreciate it. Marshallette McCant, do you think freeing Larry Hoover will help the black man? You know what? Like I said, that brother been there 40 years, 48 years, man. And I think right now is guess what? That sometime when you isolated and you isolated so long, and if given another chance right now, is anybody can right they wrong, anybody can change because change comes from within. Change comes from within, and that's what we got to understand. A lot of times we are afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of the unknown because we don't know what's going to happen. But to me, like I think right now, if a person like a Larry Hoover, get the opportunity, guess what? He can be a positive impact because once again, he got a voice. He got a powerful voice. Anytime you got a person that can have a bunch of people or get people to join forces and that they can flip it around and get people to join forces for all the right reason, that's powerful. That's very, very powerful. And that's what we need to do. A lot of times we cannot be afraid about somebody past, because sometimes right now when you're young, dumb, you do a lot of young and dumb things. Like even right now in the Bible, they say right now, when I was a child, I act as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away all childish things. And that's what we have to do. How do we learn how to put away all childish things? How do we do that? How do we do that? That's come from true identity, having true identity with yourself. Listen, folks, once again, thank you for joining me. Anybody that want to support the cause, hit the like button, subscribe, share. Like I said right now, is guess what? I was not perfect. I'm not sitting here acting like I was perfect, that I didn't do any wrong. I did a lot of evil, sick, negative things when I was young, dumb, uneducated. Um, Man, they also have in the capsule help clean kidney. It also helps to clean sugar out the bloodstream. It's good for diabetic and those with high blood pressure. Thank you for sharing that, Ashley Burnett. Listen, folks, like I told you, thank you. I appreciate the time. JD, how you doing? Salute. I appreciate the time. I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe. Listen, get your signed copy. Beyond Lucky. Get your signed copy. Beyond Lucky. The Brian Glaze Gibbs story. A true story, crack, money, murder, and redemption. Change, redemption by emailing me. Emailing me at Brian, Brian Gibbs, Gibbs 1201 at yahoo.com. Once again, if I can change, anybody can change. And like I said right now, is change come from where? Change come from within. You're on the right track. God bless you. Glaze, New York. Danique Johnson, thank you. Second Peter 1 chapter 5 to 7 verse. And besides this, given all diligently, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patient, and to patient godliness. Rena Hall, what's up, Glaze? From Fifth Ward, Texas. How you doing, man? Rena Hall, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Hey, everybody, peace, love, prosperity. Thank you for you joining me. Happy holiday. One love. One love.